Support for the community programming provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Join us the second Wednesday of every month for Joe Didi's take on, well, everything. Listen to The Joe Didi Show, second Wednesday of every month at 8 a.m. 107.5 FM WSFD. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 107.5 FM WSFD-LP Westfield.
There's no business like show business, I know business, I know. Everything about it is appealing, everything the traffic will allow. Nowhere could you get that happy feeling when you are stealing.
There's no people like show people, they smile when they are low.
Even with a turkey that you know will fold, you may be stranded out in the cold.
Still you wouldn't change it for a sack of gold. Let's go on with the show. The costumes, the scenery, the makeup, the props, the audience that lifts you when you're down. The headaches, the heartaches, the backaches, the flops.
The sheriff who escorts you out of town.
The opening when your heart beats like a drum.
The closing when the customers won't come.
Business like show, business like no, business like no.
All righty, and there is no business like show business. Good afternoon, good morning. And there you go. We've heard enough of Ethel for the day, but thank you very much, Peter.
That was the cast from Annie Get Your Gun.
Ah, there you go. I saw that. I saw that on Broadway. You saw that on Broadway.
Several times.
With Tom Wopat, Pete.
Oh, my goodness.
Really?
And he certainly, he aged really well.
And our Bernadette.
And Bernadette Peters. So good afternoon, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. It is Tuesday morning. Yes, I know we're in a time warp. It's okay. It's good to know. But welcome to WCPC, Westfield Community Programming, Channel 15, coming to you from the back of our awesome, terrific, fabulous Vocatech Academy. And good morning, Peter. How are you today, Peter?
I'm doing fine. I got to see some theater over the weekend.
I saw that. What did you see,
Western
Peter?
Connecticut State University had their final show of the season, and they did POTUS, which is
I'm
a comedy
familiar with that.
about the women of the White House. So the characters are, and they're all women, the press secretary, the chief of staff, the president's secretary, the sister of the president, who is a convict, and a reporter.
Okay.
And
That's very
it is
interesting.
very slapstick comedy. They throw shots at everybody.
Oh, and so I am assuming you enjoyed it immensely.
It was funny.
Good.
Didn't matter which side of the aisle you're on. You got a little offended and you got a lot of laughing. So
Offended?
Laughing is
Offended?
Yeah.
I don't take any of that stuff seriously anyways, because politics more performative art than anything else.
So we're good. All righty. Moving along.
Well, Christie's daughter was one of the characters in it, played the president's secretary, and the president's secretary gets into a stash of the sister's drugs and has to do slapstick improv throughout the entire show. She has 26 lines in the entire show, and the rest of is you start on this end of the stage at the beginning and just do something goofy to end up at that part of the stage at the end. She was licking paintings and stuff like that. It was just funny.
We have people that do that anyway.
It was assumed she took like an LSD type thing and was just completely out of it for the entire show.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
It was very funny.
Well, usually, Peter, at this time we do, because on the second Monday of every month, we do talk about local entertainment in Westfield, and we usually list things that are going on around the city. But we're going to be talking about that, so I don't have a real list other than, Peter, is the car show this weekend?
No, but the block party is downtown.
We know that. We're going to be talking about that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
We are going to
There will be a lot of fun because we will be there.
When is the
107.5?
You got to save that for later.
Okay.
When is the car show for the Vocatech?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look that one up. I haven't seen a lot of press about that.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to know that's going on? You usually
Stanley
have
Park released their summer concert series lineup
Okay. Oh,
on social media this
Laurie.
week. They
Laurie.
released a graphic.
Brass attack.
Brass Attack is coming, Laurie.
And I'm waiting for the artworks to release their summer schedule because I try to post both of them.
Well, Bill will be here and he'll be talking about that. So
Yep, I try to release both of them, and I try to put them up on the Channel 12 bulletin board so it runs all summer, that people can see the lineup. So I'm going to be posting the Stanley Park one unbeknownst to them.
Okay, well, Bill will be here later. We'll be joined by Bill Westerlin later from Artworks, and he will fill us in on everything that they have coming up
They
this
just
summer.
finished
and
with
the great
Articulture
things.
last week.
Yes, they did, and he'll talk about that too.
Yep.
We've got that covered. I hope we're going to get that covered. In the meantime, we have our other guests here. Notice that I am Kathy, not Carol, but Carol, not Kathy, is not here today. So we have Laurie Furkey as our co-host. Good afternoon. Good morning, Laurie.
Morning.
Saying
Good
afternoon.
morning. I'm not Kathy or Carol.
No, you're not Kathy or Carol. In fact, when we had Rock on, if you remember, he also said, I'm not Kathy
not
and I'm
Kathy.
not Carol. I would be Rock. They're just personal jokes. You'll get used to us. And we also have Trisha D. Newland with us today, Peter. Trisha D. has a lot of irons in the fire. There is, you'll find her everywhere, doing anything, doing more than one thing at a time.
Yes.
And she is one of those people that has a list a mile long of things she's doing. But you know what? She will always find time to do something else. I know. Your two biggest projects, of course, are the Westfield Women's Club and the Harlot Queens that you also have. So, Laurie, I'm going to turn this over to you. Laurie has a pile of questions
Oh, boy.
that we're going to get to today, and anything else that you have, or Peter, any questions? Peter, have you seen the Harlot Queens?
No.
Oh, dear Lord in heaven.
For shame.
You like funny things, you need to come and see this. You
Okay.
need to come and see this. So, Laurie, go for it.
All right. Good
Hello.
morning. How are you?
I'm good. It's Monday.
Good. Okay, first and foremost, you're fairly new to the area, so tell us about yourself and where you're from.
Okay, so I am, I guess, a transplant. I will never be a townie, unfortunately. Back in the day, as the sayings in Jaws go, nope, if I'm not born here, I'm not from here. My husband and I moved here in 21 after he retired from the military. And we decided to set up shop in Westfield for a little while, and you guys took me under your wing and haven't let me go yet because I looked you in the eye, Kathy. Right? Is that what it is? I made eye contact.
Eye contact. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So how'd you end up here?
Actually, I was raised on Long Island, and there I had my best friend's family was right next door. Well, we weren't best friends when we moved in, but we became best friends, and they transplanted up here when I was a teenager, and we were stationed at Hanscom Air Force Base at the beginning of my husband's service. So we really liked Massachusetts. We loved New England, and there were people nearby, and I've never gotten to do all the cool fall New England things, so it was time to do it. So
There are a lot of them, so.
yeah, it was kind of wonderful being able to choose where we lived after the military told us where to live for
Right, from all
25
those
years.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. First order of business, the Westfield Women's Club.
Yes.
So tell us about the Women's Club, what activities, things like that the club offers.
Well, I'll tell you how I went to the Women's Club to start with, because I think that that helps the story along.
Context.
In the military, when you move to a new base, you are assigned a sponsor. And they kind of tell you the lay of the land, tell you where the good dentist is, or the best price on, eggs and cheese or something like that. So you kind of have somebody welcoming you in. And when we first moved here, I noticed the beautiful clubhouse on Court Street, and I said, the Women's Club. If anybody knows the lay of the land here, it's got to be the ladies of the town. And so I walked in to the clubhouse, and the rest is kind of history.
Kind of is. It kind of is.
And it's wonderful to see so many different people in that club on a regular basis, and everybody's got their own story, their own passions, their own skill set, and it's at times a challenging thing because we are all very strong women, but at the same time, we get a lot of stuff done. We're busy. We keep me busy, and that's the challenge in itself. It's
Yes.
keeping me busy.
Yes.
We don't want to say she's busy, but we're going to start to move her bed.
There was that one week.
We'll
for
put her
sure.
picture on the fridge for her husband.
So that at home he knows.
Yeah.
Understood. That
Well, we have a kitchen at
Emergency
the
number.
club, so
Right.
the
the SOS number just in case.
right,
Just in
exactly.
case. So you mentioned the beautiful clubhouse. Tell us what's happening with the actual physical
Yes.
clubhouse. Lots and lots and lots of things.
Well, the most important thing is the clubhouse is part of Westfield history. It turns 100 years old this year. I think late February of 1926, we opened our doors at the clubhouse. The Women's Club, of course, is started in 1914, a few years before that. And as part of the centennial celebration, a handful of us got together and created a plethora of events to bring everybody to our building. And we have an extremely active facilities committee that is trying to spruce up the old girl. We've had renovations done on our roof. We've repainted our out exterior. We've replaced all of our windows. And we are constantly sourcing new what would you call them, contractors and businesses to come help us bring her back to her former glory. So lots of things are going on there. But fortunately, most of them are planned well enough that we managed to get plenty of activities to bring everybody into the building to check it out and find a place for them there.
So along with the building being 100 years old, there's activities that are being planned and have been planned to celebrate that. Tell us a little bit about
Well,
those.
obviously, you guys know a little bit about this little theater group there. I mean, it's just,
Wait, there's a
We have a theater group.
there's a theater group there.
Wow.
Well, if you guys stop packing the houses, we'll do more
Right?
different things.
I
But,
know.
when the people want to come see 42nd Street, and they
come.
did.
They sure did. They sure did.
And I can't blame them. It was a really fabulous production. But we also received several grants through the Mass Cultural Council and the Westfield Cultural Council to do a series of activities. They are funding our Sounds of Westfield series, which started a couple years ago through grant and is grant supported. This year we kicked it off with Stompin' Boots came up last weekend and kicked it off, literally. And later this fall we'll see Small Planet Dancers come back and give us a little American history with some jazz and some early Prohibition era music and history stuff. So that'll be something to watch for in September. And we've also started a new series called Women's Voices. And we've had two installments of that thus far, a very successful panel discussion from the ladies of City Hall, and then just recently a Kathy Palmer written production.
I forgot. I'd really like to.
But
Yeah. And it was very great. It was a fantastic retelling of the women of Westfield history. Complete with costumes and a full cast of characters.
It was very fun.
It was
very fun.
fantastic.
It was fun. It was a great afternoon, for sure. All right, upcoming events: the garden tea.
Oh yes, we have it's our 28th annual garden tea on this year. It's Thursday, so we're changing dates up a little bit. Thursday, June 25th, 1 to 4 p.m. And it is a fundraiser for the club, but it's also an opportunity to honor citizens who tirelessly give back to the community. And this year's honorees are Danny and Lucille Nason, who, if you are on social media at all, you've seen a picture of Danny. And he is extremely supportive of the club. He's supportive of Westfield and always highlighting all the little nooks and crannies in such a beautiful way with his photography. And Lucille is she's just a staple. She's that person that you see everywhere. You might not notice because she's the backbone of so much. I believe it was it Pumpkin Fest?
Pumpkin Fest.
That she began? Yeah. So she was in the early stages of that and so much more. So the two of them, I think, are perfect examples of the Miriam Reed Award that we bestow on people every year. So.
And so how does one come to the tea? What do we do?
Well, our website, westfieldwomansclub.com, has got all the information. And you come if you'd like to get dressed up in a very fancy tea hat of sorts. Even the mayor shows up in his signature fedora every year.
He does.
Or if you just want to come as you are, you're more than welcome. And tickets are available for purchase through the website. And if you'd like to advertise in our tea program, that is a possibility. Or if you just want to show support but can't make the actual event, there are options for you there as well.
Excellent. Tickets are $30.
And it's
$30.
did we mention it's at Stanley Park?
Stanley Park.
At Stanley Park at that
At what time?
It's 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. In that beautiful pavilion just off of the Rose Garden. So
Excellent. It is. It's a beautiful pavilion.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And I do believe that Murian Reed, of course, was a well-known, long-standing member of the Women's Club. People in Westfield may remember her. She was an excellent seamstress for millions and millions of years. And it started in her yard.
Oh, I think I did know that.
They were trying to raise money for something, and she came up with the idea. It isn't actually the first time we did teas. We did teas back in the 30s. No, I wasn't there. Just in case. I didn't attend.
I wasn't going to.
But they used to do teas, so it was sort of a resurgence of the idea. And then it was originally just the small members of the Women's Club. And then it blossomed into something much larger.
Which is nice because it's a great fundraiser for the Women's Club.
It is, and we do get children.
All ages. I love when they all get dressed up.
Yeah,
and stuff.
it's an opportunity for them to come and see something new and maybe become a member of the club.
Absolutely.
And it's rain or shine, correct?
It is rain or shine, and it features a lovely tea and music, and we bestow awards to our honorees, and there's the hat parade. The hat parade is always a highlight. And of course, Westfield loves a raffle.
That would be true.
There are few raffles I've seen that quite hit the grandeur of the one at the Garden
It's
Tea.
amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's amazing. All right. How about the gala that's coming up to celebrate the centennial of the building?
So we decided to be a little crazy. And considering our building was erected in 1926, we are throwing a Roaring 20s gala this October 3rd from 7 to 10 p.m. More information is coming as we formalize everything. We want to make sure we give all the breath and daylight and shine all the light on our garden tea. But shortly we're going to have all sorts of information. So dust off your flapper gown and shine your fringe and your feathers. And shine up your shoes.
Exactly.
And get ready to dance the night away.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent. All right. A bit of a hard pivot here. The other hat that you wear is the Harlot Queens. Tell us about the Harlot
saw what you did there.
It was good, huh?
Segue. I loved it.
Segue.
It's not
Hats
really
off to you.
a hat. It's more of a corset, really.
Well, we make no judgments here.
So the Harlot Queens are they are a musical comedy troupe that was formulated almost 10 years ago on a now defunct Renaissance festival thrown together by a few ladies of repute, not ill repute, who decided to put together an act, and it has grown and reached way further than some of us ever dreamed it could nowadays. We tour New England. We've reached Pennsylvania, Delaware, and this past year we were on a Princess Cruise line performing. So
that's amazing.
I might have gotten to stand on the beach and sang my tunes, and that was like a life-altering moment in Mexico and the Caribbean, and it was wonderful. And now we're back here in Westfield for another go-around. We just released this February our first full-length album of original music, and it is available on Spotify, CD Baby, Bandcamp, all those places you could find. And it is called Tea and Strumpets.
Oh, my.
So going from one tea to a different kind
different
of
kind of tea.
We're going to spill the tea about that. So that's actually one of our songs on our,
There you go.
on our album.
There you go. So tell us a little bit about like the style of the Harlot Queens. What's the performance type?
So our shows are not quite concert and not quite scripted shows. We do scripted segues from our song between song to song, but there's also a lot of improv. We pull in audience members. We do games, And our musical style is, if you think pub tunes of like England and Ireland, and we also do pop tune parodies. Our cover of Royals by Lorde is our kind of signature tune, and we're always writing new songs as well.
Which leads us into the album discussion. Tell us about that. That's exciting.
So our album, Tea and Strumpets, was actually produced by 13 Queen Studio. We did not give it that name. It was recorded at 13 Queen.
That's perfect.
Isn't it? It's just kismet. Because, you're going to ask me Josh's last name, and I'm blanking on air. He has ties to Nickelodeon and happened to write the Dora the Explorer theme song.
Oh, my. Wow.
So he went from Dora to Us Darlings.
That's impressive.
Yes. So he helped us produce our album, and he was amazing, amazing gentleman. And so Tea and Strumpets is out. It's, I think, a 14-track album, too. And our release party is coming to the Westfield Women's Club.
That was going to be my next question. Yeah. Tell us about that.
So we are going to feature a lot of the songs off the album, plus more. It'll be a night of entertainment where we do a scripted show, we premiere our songs, we get to have fun with the audience. There'll be snacks and a bar, available for those who like to imbibe, to get into the whole Ren Fair kind of vibe. So it's going to be from 7 o'clock to probably about 10, in the evening. Tickets start at $20. There
are tiers, right? Yeah.
There's tiers. There's the Queen's Tower if you want to sit in the balcony and just watch the show and enjoy. But if you want a little more bang for your buck, the throne room is a floor seat that includes a little extra. And then for those who like to be in what I've referred to as the corset splash zone, the VIP Queen's Court will be, you'll have the more interactive experience. Fun. So it should be a blast. And the special thing to note is when you go out to a fair or you see us perform, there's normally 5 of us performing at a time. I tend to refer to us as the Pussycat Dolls of the Ren Fair world because there's many members and you never know which combination will show. Okay. But for the album release party, you will have almost the entire troupe on stage at one time. Okay. So lots of.
And how many is that?
Currently, I believe we are running at about 11 of us, I think.
That's a big group.
It is. We like to schedule to where we can do multiple fairs on the same weekend and also have a couple swings in there so people who have lives can live them.
Right. So tell us how that works. How does the groupings and like...
Well, obviously, we need to have... musical balance. So while it's lovely, I'm sure no soprano would mind being the only soprano on the stage. For vocal health, you don't want somebody to be like that. So we have to make sure we have a good voice balance. And then when we write our scripts and everything, we generally think of who would be who would say this line and who else could say that line. So every queen tends to have a swap. So while each queen has their own unique identity, lines can kind of flow and be interpreted by different queens should they have to step in. So
has the makeup of the group changed over time, or is it the same original, or do you have people coming and going?
I think we have one original member. Okay. And who created our group, Shana Lamont, years and years ago. Actually, we're coming up on 10 years next year. And every year, the makeup of the group has changed slightly as our demand for us grow. We've added more members. And then just allowing for people to have to go through different life things, whether it's in school or jobs or babies or... we bring in new members. I happened to stumble on an audition notice one night while doom scrolling in bed and went, yes, that sounds like all the fun. Let's do that. So you never know. Usually at the end of our fair seasons in November, we start thinking about whether or not we need to add new members, more queens, or if we're good at our numbers and stuff. So every year the makeup has changed just a little bit.
So are the bulk of your performances Ren Fair type performances?
Yes, yeah. The majority of our performances are Ren Fair performances only because we're still seeking other performances. We'll perform literally wherever you will pay us. And a couple places where you don't. But we've done comedy clubs. Obviously, we've done the cruise ship. We've done pirate festivals. This past weekend, we were at Watch City Steampunk Festival. We're looking into some Pride events this coming year, and any other place. We had somebody from a larger venue in Hartford that often hosts big musicals and stuff come scout us out. I don't want to name drop inappropriately, but
if we thought about it, we could probably figure it out.
Exactly. So we are not a bash of any venue. So
Excellent.
We've done all kinds of cool things.
Excellent. So the most local you have at the moment is the launch party?
Yes.
Our record release party.
If you search out us on social media, the Harlot Queens, .com, Insta, wherever, you'll see our whole docket that we have, and we're always adding new dates. The next time you see us will be the album release party, and then we head off to the Vagabonds Fair, which I believe is in New Hampshire, and then Vermont Ren Fair, and our big then Midsummer Fantasy Renaissance Festival, and then our residency at the Connecticut Ren Fair, where we are there for the entire run every single weekend. Although it might be a different combo of queens from weekend to weekend.
And that's several weekends, yes.
That's 9 weekends we are there. Wow. So, and we've had other fairs and events reach out to us during that time, which is why it's so important for us to have a second amount of people, to have a second group go somewhere else while we're there. And 9 weekends, going from 90 some odd degrees to 40 some odd degrees in a season.
Right, it covers such a span of time.
Yeah, you know, there's vocal health to be considered, and illness, and so on and so forth. So,
and it gets into the busy time of year too.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to share with us?
We're adding new fairs anytime. Anytime someone reaches out to us. I think we have 3 new fairs or events this year, and we're always looking to do new things. So
excellent.
So she is a very busy lady, but I don't want to leave. We have a few more minutes, and then we have our second guest coming in this morning. But I do want to mention that you also hiked the Appalachian Mountains.
I did.
That's in her spare time, Laurie.
I did. In 2022, I hiked the Appalachian Trail. I say Appalachians. Both are right, but I lived in North Carolina for a bit, and they have Appalachian State University, and that's what they call it there, and that's what I'll call it.
That's her story, and she's sticking to it.
Exactly. When they decide to change it to Appalachia, I will reconsider. From February 18th, I set off in Springer Mountain, Georgia, and I finished in Mount Katahdin on September 25th. So I believe it was 220 days, or roughly 7 months and 7 days.
That's incredible.
And you did this pretty much by yourself, correct?
I set off alone. I finished with some friends that I made along the way. But my goal was never to pick up a group of people and hike along with somebody. I did spend time around lots of people, because an average of 4,000 people attempt and leave off at Springer Mountain every year. So you're never completely by yourself, but unless you choose to be. And made a ton of friends in what I call tramly, or trail family, that we still speak to today. I was actually snowed in on a mountain in the Smoky Mountains with a gentleman from Simsbury. So go figure. But he became one of my favorite hiking partners. And then we turned around and hiked the New England Trail here in Massachusetts and Connecticut, and the Foothills Trail in North Carolina, South Carolina. And then my husband and I went and hiked the peaks of the Balkans Trail in Albania, Kosovo, and Montenegro. So I am that person.
I'm tired just listening to her, Laura.
I've been to Southwick. Where have you been?
I am that person who says, you can totally walk there. Don't ever trust me.
Sometimes to my listeners out there that hear this, I know that you have different groups and different communities. If you are looking for presentations on this, Tricia D does a fabulous presentation on walking the Appalachia. I say Appalachia.
That's okay.
On the Appalachian Trail, and it's very interesting. It's very informative. So if your group is looking for someone, this is your girl. So don't say you'd really like to, but you can't.
Oh, I would totally. That's my war story. I will talk about the trail any day, any week.
It's a
any
great
minute.
story. The clothes she had to take and the food she had to eat. It's just a fabulous
Packing
story.
the backpack is probably a story unto itself.
It is.
That is not a backpack. Her name is Meg.
Oh, excuse me.
So, Peter, we're going to take a little break here and bring in our second guest of the day. And Tricia D., you are welcome to stay with us, or
Thank you
you
so
can
much.
run off to some other appointment, whatever. Take us out, Peter, and we'll see you on the other side.
Hey, hobo man, hey, dapper Dan. You both got your style, but brother, you're never fully dressed without a smile. Your clothes may be both rummily, they stand out a mile, but brother, you're never fully dressed without a smile. Who cares what they're wearing on Main Street or Savile Row? It's what you wear from ear to ear and not from head to toe that matters. So Senate whore, so Janet whore, so long for a while. Remember, you're never fully dressed without a smile. Ah, the lovely Boylan sisters.
Your clothes may be low promenade. They stand out a mile, but brother, you're never fully dressed. You're never dressed without an S-M-I-L-E smile, darn you.
Who cares what they're wearing on Main Street or Savile Row? It's what you wear from ear to ear and not from head to toe.
So for all of the Hour of Smiles family, this is Bert Healy saying, hey, hobo man, hey, dapper Dan, you're both got your style, but brother, you're never fully dressed without a smile. Your clothes may be full grumbly, they stand out a mile, but brother, you're never fully dressed without a smile.
Support for the community programming provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Join me, Tina Gorman, each week from 6 to 8 a.m. for Wake Up Wednesday, when my guests and I discuss health, wellness, and lifestyle reimagined.
Community Radio.
107.5 FM WSFD. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 107.5 FM WSFD-LP Westfield.
And good morning again, and welcome back. This is Kathy Palmer coming to you on Channel 15 WCPC Westfield Community Programming. As you already know, on the second Monday or the second Tuesday of every month, we also broadcast on the entertainment and events that are going on around Westfield. And we're back with our second guest, who is absolutely someone that you've seen around town, someone that you know. You'll know his name. If you don't know his face, you will certainly know his name, and it is Bill Westerland. Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Thanks so much for having me. I
And we are
appreciate
happy
it.
to have you here. Before we get started with artworks, you just had a weekend.
We had a weekend.
All right.
Indeed.
All right. Can you tell us about your weekend?
I can. Articulture Westfield was down at the Amelia Park Arena. It was Friday and Saturday, and our team was there for Wednesday and Thursday doing the prep work, and we were there, of course, all weekend long. That is our annual celebration of art, literature, music, and community in the city. The arena removes the ice during May. They do their annual repairs and maintenance, so we were not on ice. We were not skating, nor were all
It
the
wasn't
exhibitors.
cold.
That would have been
Well,
interesting.
it was a little chilly.
Chilly.
The concrete floor retained some of the cold air, but nonetheless, we have 77 artists and authors in there. We have musicians. We have food trucks. It's just a great community experience, and it was really fun this year. We had the most artists that we've ever had in terms of applying for the show, but also we were slightly overbooked, and we do that intentionally because usually in the last 48 hours you have drops, you have ghosts, things
we
just
know
happen.
that, don't we? No, we know that happens to us in the theater.
Sure.
A lot of times that's why we overcast, because people at
Yep.
the last minute,
Yeah.
oh, I forgot I have my mother-in-law's birthday.
Sure,
I can't be
sure.
there. The car broke down.
So we were overbooked. We didn't get those drops for the first time in the history of the show. So we had to do some last-minute manipulation of spaces, but we made it work. It was comfortable for everyone, and it was a fabulous, fabulous show.
So before we get back to artworks, I'd like to know a little bit about you for our listeners and our
Sure.
watchers out there. As Ken used to say, we have 24 listeners, but maybe there's 25. I don't know. So if you could tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you a Westfield person?
Since 1979, I don't know if I qualify as being
I
a Westfield
think so.
person
I think
yet.
so.
Doesn't
What
it
brought
take
you to
like
Westfield?
decades and decades? My wife. So I went to, well, I grew up in Auburn, Massachusetts, which is a suburb of Worcester.
Okay.
Went to school at UMass Amherst. Met my wife, Ellen. Her family was from Westfield, and that's where we landed after school, and here I am.
So you stayed here. Now,
Yep.
What got you interested in? What is Artworks, first of all?
Sure. Artworks of Westfield Incorporated, which is our official nonprofit name, is a 501c3 based in Westfield, Mass. And it's an art and cultural organization. It was designed, its mission since day one has to bring the artistic and cultural vibrancy to the city in addition to what was already here. So we started late 2015 is when the idea was conceived. Our first art of culture show was in 2016 at the Women's Club. And, you know, the idea has always been Westfield on weekends at the time did the big concerts on the old green. And they did a lot of huge activities, but we said, okay, but when they're done, there's not much happening. So how do we fill in those niches? How do we keep it going year round? So when we first started out, we never aspired to make these giant productions, although some of them have evolved into that. We were always looking at the niches, like doing a poetry show, doing a book show, doing a small art show. In Articulture, when it started, it was 12 artists and 5 authors in the basement of the Westfield Women's Club, and up on the stage where the theater performs, we had musicians up there. So you started with 17 exhibitors, and this weekend we had 77. So over the year, there's been this evolution of us artworks of that show and of the arts in the city. So we keep on hearing the buzz out there that Westfield is the place to be. Westfield is the place where things are happening. We want to move to Westfield, and it's all anecdotal evidence. We hear people saying that out there. So, I mean, I'm not a data scientist, so I haven't captured all that, but we just know from talking to people, listening to people, that Westfield is awakening. So we're trying to build that we call it the creative economy. So virtually everything we do, although the Amelia Park is not downtown, everything we do is in downtown Westfield. So the idea is you bring the creators to downtown Westfield and the artists, the performers, the sculptors. So you bring them to downtown. That will attract the community to downtown, and that in turn supports your downtown merchants. So it's like that three-legged stool. It's the rising tide lifting all boats. That has been the operating model since day one. I mean, strategies and tactics have changed over the years, which they need to, but the core mission has always been that. And, you know, all the evidence suggests that we have succeeded. I mean, at this point in time, Westfield now has a state of Massachusetts designated cultural district, the downtown Westfield Cultural District. So that's again another sign of the positivity and change in the arts in the city. And that in turn has brought a lot of the groups together, like the Westfield Women's Club, like the theater group, like Westfield on Weekends, like Artworks, coming together to figure out how do we work together to kind of really build this creative economy, which again helps the city, and that also helps all our individual organizations grow. So it's been a fantastic journey, and this is our 10th year in existence.
I know, that's amazing.
10 years.
And our best friend in the world, Marion Dunk, started.
Yes. We have pictures of Marion. What a wonderful, wonderful individual.
We do. She is in your book.
Yes, she
also.
is.
She's there. Most of your activities are at what time of the year? You do some in the winter, though.
We do.
It's interesting.
So we start off with Articulture, which is typically in early May. Then we kick off the Downtown Live Summer Concert Series. This year, that will be the last Friday in June. It goes.
And where is that now?
That
'Cause
is
you've
at
changed
the
venues.
that's the Elm Street Plaza in downtown Westfield. Not to be confused with the Green. Some people call the Plaza the Green, and people say the Green, and
I
then you
never
get
call
it.
it the Green.
You go down that bunny hole. So. The Elm Street Plaza, it's a wonderful performance space. It's right in Center City, very visible and really simple. It's really a very simple setup, but it works wonderfully for us. So we start that at the end of June. It goes for 8 consecutive Fridays. We'll schedule 2 rain dates out at the end of August. So it's conceivable we could go from the last Friday in June out to the last Friday in August, depending on how things play out. The situation with outdoor events is weather. It's always weather driven.
And there is, you bring your own chairs.
Bring your own chairs. You can bring in your own food. You set up a space on that, we call it the infield. It's the oval area. It's grass. I always think of it's kind of like a little Tanglewood, right?
It is. It's really fun.
You set up your blanket, you set up your chairs, you set up your table, and you just watch a show. And they're all free. Everything, I got to shout out, everything we do is free. It's never, ever, ever ticketed. There's no barriers to entry in terms of the community. We want people to come from all parts of the city, all economic status. Just this is for everyone to enjoy. So once we get done the concert series, then we go into Oktoberfest. That is the last Saturday in September or the first Saturday in October if it rains on our original date. Oktoberfest, it's like a giant art walk. Like we have artists and authors out on the sidewalk from the Westfield Athenaeum down to the Elm Street Plaza. So that could conceivably be up to 100 exhibitors. Wow. And plus we use the Elm Street Plaza. So we have tents set up in the plaza, and then we have artists set up on the sidewalk, and that attracts a lot of people. There, you get a lot of energy downtown because all those cars going by, people see things happening, and they stop, they pull in, and they join.
When
and
you say that they're there, what do they sell things?
Yes.
Do they?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. All the artwork. Well, first of all, let me start up. We do a call for artists. So, for example, in Articulture, we had the 77 artists and authors that were there were from around New England. So I think of Manchester, New Hampshire, Methuen, Massachusetts, Central Massachusetts, the Berkshires, up and down the Pioneer Valley. We had a broad mix of artists. They're suddenly seeing what we do in Westfield, and this is one of their shows on the stop. So we've had people compare Articulture to Mattoon Street Arts Festival and the Paradise City Arts Festival. So each year with Articulture, we're always trying to raise the level of the quality of work. And this weekend was the best. People were raving about the quality of work that was shown at that show. So to circle back to Oktoberfest, and are the artists, are things available to purchase? Absolutely. You know, a lot of them are there for that, not principally for that, but that's, one of the things is they'll put their work out there for purchase. Same thing with the authors. They'll bring all the books that they have to those shows. Depending on the program is how music fits in. Concert series, of course, is all about music. Articulture, what we did this year is we actually had roving musicians on the rink floor. So we had a violinist, we had an accordionist, and a clarinet.
That's interesting.
Not at the same time. You know, they would just,
That's
it's kind of
very
like
interesting.
at a high-end restaurant, there's a violinist strolling around, and that was the thing. It's like, how do we make this a little bit deep and different? And, you know, we kind of run that show or think about it as this is like a gallery open. So Friday night at Articulture, it was the opening reception. So we have food, which was prepared by the culinary art students in this building.
Nice.
So they prepared all the food, all the desserts. We had a jazz duo. It started as a duo, but they ended up having 4 players in the lobby of the rink. And then we had the Skyline Beer Company there serving, you know, beer, wine, things like that. So it was like, how do we make this feel like a gallery open? It's an artist reception. And of course, everything's open, so people can wander onto the rink and talk to the artists and enjoy the music, have a bite to eat, you know, buy a beer, whatever. So that's how music played into that. So downtown at Artoberfest, we typically have some bands up on the stage, a little bit quieter. We don't want to have, the typically larger bands that we have during the concert series. And then Winter Walk is a tough one because Winter Walk is the second Saturday of December. So that's a mixture of people out and people in shops. So last year we had artists in the Westfield Gas and Electric lobby. We had people over at Tribeca, at Turinian Jewelers, at some of the empty storefronts like the old George's Jewelers location. We had folks in there. So what we do is we get artists, kind of like a classic art walk. If you go to East Hampton, they have art walk on Cottage Street, and you have some artists outside and a lot are inside all the shops along the way. So that's what the downtown Westfield Winter Walk is all about. It's that hybrid. Some folks want to be outdoors. In some seasons, it can be unseasonably warm. It can go the other way. It can be a bit chilly. But they all make it work. And that one really ties into the holiday season. So there's a different vibe downtown when we do that. This year we had, I think we had 2 or 3 Santas. We had the Grinch.
Nice.
Yeah, we were giving away. We hire the kids here to bake us Christmas cookies. So we'll have trays of cookies, and we just hand them out. Again, everything we do is free, except for beer. You can't give out free beer.
No, especially to the kids. No. Now, are you run by a board?
We do have a board. The maximum size is 13, and typically we're near that point. I think right now we're at 12, but typically we're full. They're all nobody you would know. We don't have the marquee names on our board that people typically would see on some boards, especially in Westfield. I just say, we're just regular folk. We're your neighbors, we're your friends, we're your coworkers. We just love what we're doing. We consider it just so important to our community. It's all about community. So it's so important to have that folks just want to chip in and share their life experiences to help us grow this thing.
And how are you funded? Do you receive any funding?
We are funded by donors, sponsors, grants. The Westfield Cultural Council, raise grants, a program of the Massachusetts Cultural Council. So it's all, again, because everything's free, we don't raise any money at our events through ticket sales or any of that stuff. We don't sell kitsch and all that kind of stuff. It's just getting sponsors and donors. And what's interesting over time is that as people recognize the significance of the artwork's effect on the community in a very positive way, it actually gets somewhat easier to raise money each year because people know it's a great investment. In terms of the businesses, they know, this is a proven organization. We see what they do. They get our name out there. So it makes it, raising money is never easy, I'll tell you that. But it makes it a little bit easier when you have a story to tell. and that story's been demonstrated, and folks understand the importance of that. It's in terms of their brand equity to be associated with what we do. It's a selling point for certain. Yeah.
Do you have anything? I'm thinking about the future of Westfield and what we want to do. And of course, we're both on that downtown committee for the cultural district. Do you have a wish list, things that you would like to see us be doing in the future?
Well, I would love to see beautiful murals downtown in the district. If you go to, first one that jumps to my head is up in Burlington, Vermont on Church Street. There's this 3-story hummingbird, just gorgeous. Downtown Great Barrington, if you go down there, there's this beautiful mural on one of the buildings. And it's not, and I'm not an advocate for, we don't, in my view, we don't need more black squirrel murals. We all have black squirrels in our yard. We just need like gallery art, beautiful paintings and images that when people drive through, downtown Westfield, people drive through, you see all those buildings. Wouldn't it be wonderful to see this building with this beautiful rose? Just people would just drive by and they would stare, and it just sets the tone. So Ray, in those projects, those are 18 to 24 months. This isn't something you decide today and say, okay, we'll get it done by summer's end. It doesn't work that way. There's a lot more moving parts. It's very complex, and it's very expensive to do. So that takes time. What right now we're zeroing in on is the utility boxes, the metal utility boxes that right now in downtown Westfield along the Elm Street corridor are not in great shape. In my view, they don't really shed a beautiful light on the city. We would love to get those things looking gorgeous, like mini murals. Do some gallery paintings on those things. So when people are driving through, they see that, and it sets the tone, the mindset of what this city is.
I think that's also been part of our goal too, Bill, on the Cultural District Committee, is to just improve the appearance of downtown Westfield.
Yep.
The flowers, trying to straighten out the flowers and the lighting. I know Cheryl's
that's a nice addition, absolutely.
Just to make it brighter and appear better, Laurie, than it does.
Right,
And I think there's something to be said with Sandy Gill's campaign against the littering.
Yes. Absolutely.
All of those things have to come together, and I agree with a lot of Bill saying that this is a community effort. This is something we all need to be aware of, is making things better downtown, encouraging people to come downtown, encouraging them to shop and to eat downtown. I know there's sometimes people say, well, there's no parking.
No, that's not true.
That's not true.
So not true.
I agree.
That, if I'm going to a theater in West Springfield, guess what? There's no parking.
That's right.
But no one ever says that. If I'm going to New York, for heaven's sakes, no one says they can't park their car.
Right.
So there is parking, Bill, isn't
absolutely.
there?
Yeah. The cultural district, we put out this parking map that shows where all the parking is, and the number of spaces per lot is plentiful. Now, if you insist on parking in the first space right in front of the restaurant, well, that's not going to work. It's not going to work anywhere. Westfield is no better or worse than anyone else if you can't get the space right in front of the shop. So you have to only take 2 steps and you're in the shop door.
And there's only one of those spaces right in front of the shop.
It just doesn't work that way.
No, he's right. I think that is a mentality people have. I need to park in front of it.
Right.
We'd all be a lot better off if we walked a little bit.
It's true.
And with this Elm Street Plaza, there is, I think it's 93 parking spaces associated with that plaza. So it's a huge lot right in the center city. And that's where things happen, so you can park there during all the activities. And by the way, there is activity this Saturday. There's the Elm Street Block Party.
Yes, I was going to get to that.
Then I'm not going to steal your...
No, go right
I don't want
ahead.
to steal your...
Tell us about it.
Well, the Elm Street Block Party is happening this Saturday, the 16th. I'm not up on my I think it is the 16th, but you can fact check me. It is this Saturday, and Peter Miller in his community development team at City Hall did a great job with this, because this is plugging the hole where the old 5K race used to be.
Correct.
And that was done for, I think, decades.
Yeah, they're not doing it this year.
Yeah.
It's a matter of traffic control and, shutting down roads. So the decision was made not to hold it. So in its place, Peter and Leanne Crosby
Yep.
are putting on this downtown activity. So what are they having there?
Well, it's going to be, it's from 12 to 5. And Elm Street will be blocked. On Facebook, you hear so many things about block off Elm Street, bring back the food fest and all that stuff.
Taste of Westfield
you're
back
gonna
in the
get
day.
you're gonna get your Elm Street's going to be blocked. I believe it's going to go from school.
They route everybody down Washington Street during the time that it's blocked.
Yeah.
To
And
Franklin Street. It's
and
very
I think
easy.
it's down to Franklin.
Yeah, it's the easiest place to block off, honestly.
For sure. So the activities are going to be on the Elm Street Plaza. They're going to be on Elm Street principally. I think most of the activity is between school and Thomas. There are some things happening from the
Probably,
Thomas to Franklin block,
Yeah.
but it's really cool. So again, Peter was under a lot of pressure to produce this. It was a very short time period to get this produced, and I think he did a fabulous job. So there's going to be bands. And there's going to be various food and merchandise vendors downtown. But the big thing is out on Elm Street, there will be an 18-hole mini golf course that people can play. And this is those companies that, you rent them, or, they come in, they set it up. So I looked at the map. It feels like it's going to be maybe from about Cafe Zerno down to in front of the Elm Street Plaza, or a little bit
so.
before in that area.
That's where it is.
There's going to be axe throwing, not with axe, with, I don't know, what are they?
And no volunteers to be thrown at.
Vinyl or whatever they are. The same company, they're going to have this axe throwing booth. There's going to be multiple food vendors. There's going to be beer vendors. And the idea is just to get people downtown and have a good time. And this kind of taps into that strong sense of leveraging downtown with the street closures, which is a challenge. And I got the top of it is, well, I'm going to speak for ourselves as nonprofits. When we request to shut down a city street, one, it has to be approved. But two, we have to hire the police officers to administer that. And it became such an expense for us that we used to close down half of School Street, and we used to do an art fest on the street. We just couldn't swing it anymore because half of our funding
It's gotten
would
very
go.
expensive, and it's also driven by contract agreements.
Sure.
It's not like even they can say, "Well, I'll volunteer half
Right.
my time." It's nobody's fault. It's just the way the world is now.
Yeah,
is.
absolutely, positively, and it's a great point. There isn't any pointing of fingers or fault. It's just these are the economic realities. But again, I got to take my hat off to Peter's team, for all the other nonprofits to say, okay, that's the reality. How do we make it work? And as a group, I mean, we've done it through our organizations, right? You just figure it out and you make it work for the community. And I think, we need more people like that. And that's the biggest challenge with a lot of our groups is we are volunteers. And part of the demise of the race was a lot of those organizers aged out. I mean, they were getting...
And it was the money, too, with trying to pay everybody that we had to pay. We just couldn't do it.
Big endeavor. So anyway, that's coming up this Saturday, and fingers crossed, it looks like it's going to be nice weather. So come on downtown, have a good time.
And just walk around and see some of the newer stores that are down there, and the eating places that have opened up, and lots of little shops and boutiques on School Street.
Yeah.
So, if we don't support them, they don't stay.
Right? Yeah.
We have to support them. Exactly. So anything else you want to see happening? We have about 2 minutes left. Yep. What did we leave out that you might like to see happen?
Well, I would like to see, we talked about the murals. I think that's a big one. And I think the utility box murals are doable. That can be done in a very short period of time. I would love to take advantage of some of the empty storefronts and you could do a couple things. One, you could do pop-up galleries in those, but those would be temporary. It'd be fun, but they would be temporary. There's doing something with street art in those windows, whether it's on the windows or in the windows. So when you drive by those spots that are open for lease, they're empty, they're dark, which is not terribly attractive.
Correct.
If you could perk them up a little bit, maybe collaborate with the owners of those properties and say, how do we work together to make this property more marketable, have the city put on a brighter face on the city as people go through. And I think that would be some really small, doable wins that would really put a great face on what we have downtown and build on what we've already achieved.
Good ideas.
Yeah.
Well, Bill, we thank you for coming in. People, please go to the Artworks website and look up any more information that you need. Yeah. You can also go to the Cultural District site, and you will have all the information you need on this weekend. Please look forward to things happening in Westfield. There's always something going on. People say, well, there's nothing going. Yeah, there is. Even if we don't have an event, you have Stanley Park, you have the Athenaeum, you have the fields where kids are playing soccer, and there's things to do and trails to walk and the river walk and all kinds of stuff that we can offer you right here in Westfield. So, Peter, thank you again for another hour. We appreciate it. And Lori, thank you for filling in for Carol Palmer.
Thank you for having me.
You don't look like Carol, but you can pretend to be Carol. Okay. And Bill, thank you so much,
You're
and good
very
luck
welcome.
with everything in the
Thank
future.
you.
Take us out, Peter.
Come and meet those dancing feet on the avenue. I'm taking you to 42nd Street. Hear the beat of dancing feet. It's the song I love, the melody of 42nd Street. Little nifties from the 50s, innocent and sweet. Sexy ladies from the 80s who are indiscreet. They're side by side, they're glorified.